So welcome to the 80s, my 80s. And the last time I talked to you, I told you about a mistake that I'd made on my flour on my icorn starter. So already I'm off base, but I've tried to rectify it because actually what I was 24 grams short of what I should have been of flour. So now I can understand why it could be formed into a ball. I've put, that you didn't see me, my 2 tablespoons are 30 grams of water, excuse me. 2 tablespoons, 30 grams of water in here. That's what it is. 2 tablespoons is 30 grams. Okay, then I've added my flour, and boy, now I have this, yeah, it's not as sticky as it's ever been. I can form it into a ball, no problem. I'm going to set it down while I try to get it. Oh, you can't see that. I'm trying to get all of the flour out of here because it really is, some of it's still very sticky. But see, it makes a ball. Now I'm going to form the ball. And I didn't plan ahead on this thing. This is the only all-purpose flour I have. I've got a lot of grain, so I can do that, but I need to order some more of this, and I don't think it comes all that fast. Maybe, but anyway, it's ready to put back in, and we've already had the finish day, and this is a restarter day, no, a refresh day, and I'm putting it in here. Let's see. Yeah, we're refreshing it, and from now on, for the next 10 days, I can do that. In fact, it said you might want to even do it twice a day to refresh it, get it up to speed. Then, in that time, I'm going to wash my hands because I want to tell you, and again, you're going to find out, I don't follow directions very good.
Amen to that.
You weren't supposed to be so agreeable, honey.
Sure.
Okay. After the 24 hours, you may start baking. So the next thing you see me do is probably going to be mixing my bread really up. But because it's really not built up with all the pH it needs to have and all of that, instead of 3 to 5 hours to take it to be the proofing time, it'll take 12 to 15 hours. So what I'll do is I'll start my bread in the evening. I might even start it tonight or tomorrow night. But I'm going to start it at night, let it rise all during the night, and then about 10, 11 o'clock start making the rest of it. Okay, then the way you will refresh your starter from day 6 forward is how you will do it forever. When you first begin, your starter will not have the correct pH to thrive, but this will develop over time with multiple refreshings. It may seem a terrible waste, and this is where I know I just can't do this. What you've made so far, but it would be far more wasteful to keep refreshing large amounts of starter and not using them for baking bread. I'm going to start making them for baking bread. Even if I have to bake bread every day, I'm not going to throw it away. Because what you do is you take out 2 teaspoons of your previous batch each time you refresh and discard the rest. Oh my goodness. I can't do it. It goes again, I don't know, there's something about throwing away what I've just done. Okay, but then after you get it to there, you finally When your starter bubbles up within 6 to 10 hours of refreshing, you are ready to go where you can, let's see, you can refrigerate your starter and refresh it 1 time per week after you get to that point. Well, in the meantime, I think I'm going to keep baking bread and watch it just build up. Okay, even if I just have to keep putting them in the freezer. So, here we go. It's that day. Okay, I think what did they say, after the 6th day you could start baking? Well, anyway, it's either today on the 5th day or the 6th, and so I'll reread that. Okay, there we have it. Oh, I was going to set my timer so I didn't keep you very long, because I know you must have appointments that you have to meet today, and busy, busy life. But I want to talk a little bit about sleep. I am really trying to change my sleep habits. It's really important. And the nights that I get a good night's sleep, when I take my blood sugar in the morning, it's great. When I don't have a good night's sleep, it isn't so great. So I think that's a big factor in what's going on in my body with insulin and all of that. So, one thing we did, we changed our bedroom. We put in some of those blackout curtain type curtains. They're navy blue. And last night we had them up, and quoting Tom, it was like being as dark as the inside of a cow. And I found out, I've always had suspicions that Maggie is afraid of the dark. And she had a hard time. She usually goes to the end of my bed and then over to the other side, and that's where she sleeps. She wouldn't do that. She wouldn't go past those curtains, those black curtains. And so she did sleep by my bed, but it wasn't quite the night that she usually has. So anyway, then about, I don't know what time it was, because I take off my watch, because my watch is one of these things I can hit a button, it lights up and tells me what time. So I take it off so I'm not tempted to do that. And she woke me up and wanted on the bed. Well, I have to get out of bed to do this. And usually I have a flashlight, and she looks at the bed and hops on. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. And she jumped up and she sort of missed. And I had to help boost her up onto the bed. And then she didn't stay very long, and she was back down. And at 4 o'clock this morning, she finally made it right. But, and I'd gotten sort of up. I was awake then anyway. But anyway, that's going to help. And then the other thing that happens to me is there are sometimes it's too painful to go to sleep. My legs, it's my hip, and somehow sometimes my legs even be below the knees. I don't know why. And pain is funny. Where you feel it may not be where the problem is at all. So anyway, when those nights happen to me, I'm going to show you what I do. I come in, and of course I want to do this early on. In fact, lots of times I tell myself, do it before I go to bed. But do you know something? I can feel fine and then lay down, and when the pressure's off or the stress is off, then I feel it, and I can feel the hurt. So what I do, I come in, I'm going to get a glass of water that I can drink, because the refrigerator is not shut right. Okay, I have I think a pretty good filter in my refrigerator, I'm hoping. Okay, then I put in a dropper full of white willow. White willow is what aspirin was originally based on, plus meadowsweet. Those two herbs, white willow and meadowsweet, were in our original, what made our original aspirin. It has changed. I think now probably all of our drugs are going to petroleum based. So the aspirin has really changed over the years. But this is what the original aspirin was, and I'll tell you one of the disadvantages and one of the advantages. Well, anyway, maybe these are two disadvantages. Your gut health has to be in a place where it will absorb it right, and possibly not. If you're not up to speed that way, it won't work as effectively. So the other thing is, it takes longer to start doing its thing, like stopping the pain. But the advantage is it lasts longer than an aspirin, and for some reason, because, well, anyway, I cannot take aspirin or pain pills. I can't. They just come up. They go down, they stay down a little bit, and back up they come. And that will never happen with white willow. It's not going to make your stomach have upsets or bleed. In fact, it will be more soothing. Then I want to relax, so I take and put chamomile in here. If I don't have chamomile, I'll use poppy, I'll use lavender, and things that are called nervines that are soothing. Then depending on how my whim is and how I feel, I'll either take yarrow, and I don't have a dropper for that, so I'll just take a teaspoon and I'll put some yarrow in there. Now, yarrow is something you can probably grow in every yard that around the world. I don't know. It grows in it grows wild in fields. The other day when I was looking at Jim and Renda's picture, the first time when I saw the white flowers, I thought, oh, I wonder if they're yarrow, but they look more like chamomile or a false chamomile. So anyway, what the yarrow does, the yarrow is an astringent, and it tones up your tissues and it helps your digestive tract. So if I'm having any problem and I want my digestive tract to calm down and do right, I'll take yarrow. It also stops bleeding. The other day, the chickens got out one night when it was real windy, and it blew open the gate, and some of them got out, and I was chasing them, and I went by a bush and got into the bush wrong. I think it was the lime tree. It has thorns on it. Anyway, I wound up and I just picked some yarrow out of my yard and just laid it on my arm and made it stick there while I got the chickens in. Okay, the other thing, yarrow also helps with pain. It's interesting. During, they have records way back of soldiers and using yarrow, and they used it, I think, clear up until about the First World War. It was something they used a lot of. Elderflower is the other one that I'll go to, really good for our immune system, and I think also it can help with pain a little bit. But I take that, I drink it, I usually can go back to bed. Now, if you're one out there that is suffering from extreme pain, like Lyme's disease or something like that, I don't know how effective any of this, but I would try it and see. Then there is a book that I've read by Stephen Herod Booner, It's Buhner. It's herbal antibiotics, but he's written a book called Healing Lyme's Disease, and it would be worth getting. And by the way, we've lived a couple of times where there's been ticks. I can remember one time I sent them through the washing machine. I think they even came out of the dryer. I don't know, but they came out alive. They were just clean. So that was a little, shocking to me that they could do that. And one place, my son got bit quite bad, and he didn't get Lyme's disease, but I think what he got, because it was bad, and it left a big scar on his back, I think he got Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever or something, but oh, he was sick, and it was I can remember one night especially, it was so hard with him, and real sick. And it's been a long time ago. I think he ran a temperature, but it wasn't the Lyme's disease, so that was fortunate. Okay, anyway, what else? Oh, another thing we've done for our sleep, I hope I'm not going past your time here, is I try to go to sleep or to bed about the same time, and that's hard to do too. But we're within a half an hour, more or less. I'm turning out all my computer lights, and I am going to make an effort at changing my sleep patterns. Maggie is changing hers. And so tonight when you go to bed, or if you're about to go to bed, have a good night's rest. We all need it. Okay, the next time I see you, I hope I'm making bread. So have a good day, and I'll talk about maybe how to make the tinctures in another, if you need to know that. So have a good day.